color that we need is gonna cost us more because there's a competitive shingle that's just as good, they just don't have that particular shade. So why wouldn't we see what they have to offer and maybe, you know, change our ideas about what we will accept if it's gonna save us money?
Did you say something about the color being?
I said that there's comparable shingles in quality.
But not the color.
I mean, they're all just about around the same price range. One's Corning, Ico, I mean, you're probably talking, you're not talking substantial amounts of money.
Well,
No.
the answer, Hank, is the material alteration vote that was done by the attorney and went out to all owners to vote on did say a GAF timber lake or timber whatever
You can
harvest.
save money, but you're
Yeah.
going to be going.
Oh, I know you went through that thoroughly and covered it with the owners too, but if he just told us about that it's gonna cost us more money to go with that particular vendor. I thought if we could, and he said we could get an equivalent shingle, it just wouldn't have that color available, that shade.
That was after he spent 40 minutes telling us why it was such a good shingle to be used in and the roof system was great.
We're talking about the same quality here.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No.
Yes, according to what Owen said, we are talking about the same quality. He said it was equal. All you have to do is play it back, I'm sure the recording it.
I don't think we did, but thank you, Hank.
You're welcome. I'm looking to save money here, not spend it.
I wanna go rob a bank tomorrow.
No, but we can skip the roofing proposals on the limb. Let's go to the committees or the past owners back.
Okay.
It's now time to wrap up.
Yeah. All right, next item is consideration of board committees and volunteers.
Did you?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have, from our owners meeting, we have 5 different committees that were recommended for the board to approve. The newsletter committee currently is with Laura Sani, Nancy McFadden, Mary Keys, and Louise Carawan. We have security and emergency preparedness committee. We only have one person signed up for that one so far, so I think we're gonna kind of hold off that one for the moment. We have a budgeting financial transparency committee. That one is being chaired by Dawn, with Roxy Klatt, Austin Farrar, Louise Carawan, and Doug Schnabel participating. We have a preventative maintenance committee, which is chaired by Laura Sani with Austin Farrar and Roxy Klatt. And then a construction/maintenance committee. We do need a board member to chair that one. That is being represented by Mike Klatt, Austin Farrar, Sean Lucas, and Doug Schnabel. Oh, that's one you said you would do? Okay, so Nancy said she would chair the construction and maintenance committee. Is there discussion about these committees from the board?
Did you all agree to all of them after Laura sent out her email? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's a great opportunity, and I think it's fantastic that we have so many owners that want to chip in and help. I'm excited about it.
Cool.
Holy cow. Thanks,
Sorry,
Megan.
you were
Laura
loud.
had you up really
Yeah.
loud.
A little loud. You came in loud and clear on us, so.
Oh, there you go.
No, you're fine. I lowered the volume down.
Okay.
Is-
If you're not gonna make changes to that, then if you wanna make one motion to create those 5 committees with the listed people, then hand that back to me and we'll just do one motion and I'll,
All right, so motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, go ahead.
Nancy. And I'll list them as Laura read them, what they are, yep.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say pro. Aye.
No, this one like that.
That was, I'm sure that was Fiona.
Yep.
Any, against? All right, it passes.
Excuse me.
Trouble Owen. Fiona's babysitting 3 little children in her place today, so That is why she is not at the meeting itself in person. All right, so consideration of a new pest control company.
I didn't print those either.
So we had some concerns about Turner, as I know we've discussed with some of the directors via email, just not being very responsive and some of the challenges that we faced after our walk around with them not coming out and addressing the hornet's nests, the wasp nests that are all over the property. And so we decided to take a look at other vendors as a possibility. And one of the vendors that we looked at was Westfalls. Westfalls is currently doing the lawn treatments in clusters 3 and 4. And they came out, walked the property, and kind of pointed out some things that were neglected by our current pest control company. And so this is an opportunity for us to discuss for the board if they have any questions about the recommendation to move forward with Westfalls, based on the experience that I know Fiona's had experience with them and Dawn and Robin have.
I can't see, in the nature zone, I don't see the pricing per month or whatever it was. That's what I was looking for. Oh, 8 was 800.
So the two companies were Nature Zone and Westfalls. That actually came out in bid.
800 and 1090.
How long?
Well, plus Westfall's got a $2,000
That a month?
initial cost.
Oh, to set up? That's for cluster 4, because they do not have any bait boxes.
That was to set up the bait boxes. They're the only ones without the rat bait boxes.
For $2,000.
You guys have paid that over time. They've charged you like $200 and some dollars per bait
Yeah.
box to bring them out. And, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, they're over like $275 each.
Okay, so Nature Zone is not charging that though?
Oh,
I don't know that we asked them for serving and maintaining the 53 existing. We didn't ask them to
Yeah,
add
they're in.
cluster 4.
They're in there, 53 for Nature Zone.
Yeah, but
That's only
that's
that
what we're saying. Westfall's 2,000 is because we added cluster 4 to Westfall. We didn't ask Nature Zone to add cluster 4. There are none in cluster 4 now. You have bait
Okay,
boxes
so we
at
don't
every
know what Nature Zone would charge.
to bring out the bait boxes. No. Dawn would just decide whether she wants them or not. They're in clusters 1, 2,
they're all of them.
3, 5, and 6,
Yeah.
and they're at the
I'm aware of that.
the dumpster. You know,
Oh.
the dumpster areas.
So the Westfall versus Nature Zone per month is how much?
800 and 1090.
That's a month.
Wait a minute, initial fee, monthly fee thereafter is 800, and the Westfall is, yep,
And that's divided by 7.
1,090 per month for the duration of the agreement. Yep.
And that's divided by 7 with master and then 6 clusters, right?
7?
The master.
Oh, it's not divided by, it would be like, the 1090 or the 800 would be divided by 176, and then
Oh,
your
okay, yeah.
portion would
Yeah.
be, and then, for the master, we don't have anything done for the master other than the bait boxes, yeah.
So they have treated for fire ants out here.
That's separate, we call
Okay,
for that.
okay.
So one of the things that, preventatively treat all the exteriors is included in that price. I'm reading Nature Zone. The rodent control to service them each month is included, which right now, whatever you're paying for Turner, you're paying additional for the bait boxes. So it's $65 to $70 a month per club, depending. Pest control of the interior units as needed, like on a call, is included in that price, and then pest control of the interior 24 to 48 hour callback guarantee. Now, it does say several ant species trailing along the buildings and into the roof lines, including fire ants. Retrofitting the existing stations is included, but they will treat the inside for ants, roaches, rats, spiders, silverfish, and wasps. So anything outside of what I just read would be a charge. It's not included. Do you have scorpion?
No, I
I was
didn't.
gonna say, have you seen a scorpion? They're here, I know. No, this would not be termites. They will spot treat termites for you if someone sees them. They'll come out and spot treat, but it's not included. Now let me look at Westfall and I'll read you that. So monthly household insects, ants, what's an earwig? Ants, earwigs, roaches, excluding German roaches, whatever the difference is between a roach and a German. They don't do German ones, only the English ones, the Japanese ones, the American ones. I don't know what
Are you joking?
I'm joking.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I don't know what a German roach is, but they don't include the German roaches. Silverfish, this one does do scorpions in case you get an infestation of scorpions and wasps. So the last one, let me just go over these again so that we're clear on this. Ants, roaches, rats, spiders, and silverfish. And this one is, I can find it again. Ants, earwigs, roaches, silverfish, scorpions, and wasps. I don't know what that is. Okay, so,
So they both include wasps?
yep.
Yeah.
Now they do interior rodent trapping. They do dry wood and subterranean termite treatments. And they do both of them do that, but they are not included in their pricing per month.
Oh, good flag.
Who is
I
that?
don't think that's, no, that's, pink,
Okay, let's see.
yeah. There you go.
Okay, let me look again. Get back to these. Bed bugs. Westfall went into a little more detail with bed bugs. Not included in either. That's definitely a separate treatment. Westfall said bed bugs 500 a room. Each additional room is $250. German roaches, whatever those buggers are, $250. 50 each additional room. Ticks, 500, 250 each additional room. I can't imagine, then we get an infestation of ticks,
I
you
feel-
get a tick.
I feel 50 right now, so.
You get an infestation, I don't know, I never heard of this stuff. And here's a big
Shannon,
one
I
though,
have a question.
fleas,
Or if-
250 and 50. What's that?
So I was just curious, so things like bed bug infestation, would that be the responsibility of an owner or the HOA or the board?
It would be an additional cost, it depends.
Okay.
Whether or not they've spread, if there's others, but I would just tell you, as far as them coming out and treating it, just get it done. I would not argue that cost because it could potentially go into all your units. So,
Oh, yeah, I was just curious, because I know typically that, is brought in by someone,
yeah,
bed bug business.
yeah. Anybody traveling could bring them out.
Yeah.
Yes, they did a while back.
Yeah, we had some this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, within cluster 3 was it. And
Yeah.
it was picked up by the board.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just take care, I mean, I wouldn't mess with it because you end up displacing your whole condo and you got, yeah. Just get it done. Somebody's piece of chocolate from the other day.
I'm gonna move, we go with Nature's Own because they're considerably cheaper and seem to provide all the same services.
Is there any discussion about that?
This is Chad,
No,
Not yet, Chad.
sorry Chad,
I'm
just the
sorry.
board right
Just the
now,
board right
please.
now.
What was the difference in price between the two of them?
$290 a month.
Well, if we don't like them after 6 months, we can switch.
So
That's right.
Dawn, Robin, Megan, Fiona.
Anybody?
I think that, the one that's cheaper, so it sounds like we don't have to sign a year contract, it's 6 months?
It's probably a rollover annual, I'll look at it. It's probably a rollover annual, but to be honest with you, they all have 30-day out, so.
Okay.
Yeah, 30-day written notice. I'll check the second one real quick.
Dawn, Robin, Fiona.
I mean, we're looking at $4.54 per owner for Nature's Own and $6.19 for Westfall. I've dealt with Westfall, they've been great, but I'm willing to try Nature Zone too. It sounds like they both cover pretty much everything.
Yeah, and, they're both 30-day out. I did verify that. They're both 30-day out.
Okay. Fiona or Dawn?
I know West Falls personally, so I would go with them. I know the family, so they're a good reputable family.
Okay. Dawn?
I have no preference, but I'm a big, I take Fiona's word for it. Reputation is everything, and West Falls has been very good to me, so.
Okay. All right, was it Chad, you had a question as an owner?
Yes, I apologize for stepping in too soon.
No worries.
My question is, how do these prices compare to what you guys already approved for the 2025 budget?
All right, Chad's gonna make me work. Hang on.
Thanks, Chad.
Dagnabbit.
Thanks, Chad.
Sorry about that.
Chad's for sale if anybody's looking for a Chad. Oh, of course I can't get in right now.
I got 950.
950 is what you're seeing, Doug?
My
That might
service.
be, that's probably just for, that's just for.
It's
our
master
cluster.
though, right?
That's for our cluster.
Let me go in.
I got it here.
Oh, you have your budget? Oh,
I
thank God.
did.
Okay.
12,000 is what was for 24, 25.
Is it 12,000?
11,578.40 is what you have budgeted.
11,578.40 is what was budgeted.
No, that's not right. Like for one association.
Is that the master you got, Roxy?
Yeah.
No, cluster 4 didn't budget anything. Does the master have it all?
I don't have the master.
No, there's no way that the master is at all. Oh, that's because cluster 4 didn't have
Yeah, they have the
big boxes. Okay. So like Nancy's is, 980.18 is what they budgeted. They spent about 942 this year. So I'll do some quick math.
That's just for the extra rat boxes.
This
wasn't
was
it?
actually cluster 2 here.
Oh, cluster 2?
Yeah, pest
Yeah.
control in cluster 1
There's others, yeah.
is 750.
That's,
All right.
that's just for the extra rat boxes, that's not for the
That's
whole.
the baiting and all
Yeah.
that.
Nancy, how many units do you have? 25?
25.
Okay, so about $113 a month. No, a month. I divide it by 176, 800 divided by 176 times 25, so about $113 a month. So 1,363
And,
with the wrap boxes included.
okay, and Nature Zone was costing,
That was the 800.
oh, okay. And
Yeah.
then we're paying currently, you said Roxy was budget 11,000 for the entire community?
Yep.
So that was the main one, the main pest control.
Yep.
So that's the one we gotta use, 11,000. So let me do the 800 times 12. So that would be 9,600. So that would be about 2,000 cheaper.
Oh, to
Well,
go
all right,
with Nature
1,400. Yeah, 1,400 cheaper to go with Nature Zone, and then the rat boxes are included. So the money that the individual clusters put is extra money in their budget, except for those call-outs for things like bed bugs, German roaches, you know, termite spot treatment. So it'd be about 1,400
Cost
cheaper.
900 per cluster.
Zone? Yeah,
Well,
that's a,
in addition, so.
Yeah.
Edna?
Yeah, so if I understand this correctly, so you're saying that each cluster now that gets a special bill for those rat boxes won't have to pay that separately, that's included in this price?
In the baiting,
Yeah.
Oh,
of it,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Cluster 4 will pay that one-time
Yeah.
installation fee.
Okay.
I don't know, Nature Zones does not include the price for that one-time installation. they're saying it includes the retrofitting of what's already here
Okay.
for the others. So we'll have to find out for Dawn about adding some for her. But either way, the baiting, service and maintain 53 is included. I mean, if we add 4 or 6 more, they're not gonna, yeah, it's gonna be included, yeah.
Because we all paid for those, each cluster at the time, paid for them to be put there. And that was, I know when I took care of the, you know, the sign-offs on the payments, that was a mess trying to figure out what went with what, because Turner didn't do a good job.
No,
No,
they
and
they don't do it
So
very
that's good, I like that.
Yeah, this was like 60, I did it for accounting and I sent it to everybody, but it was like 65 to, I think the highest one is 72 or 77. Yeah, that each cluster is paying for their bait boxes plus the, you know, we're paying for them.
No, for our bait boxes that are not properly attached, what are they gonna do about that?
That's retrofitting.
Yeah, they're
That's the
retrofitting, that's
retrofitting
included
that's
here.
included in it.
Okay.
So, is there any other discussion about, because we have a motion on the table to approve nature zone for the community.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Alright, so we have a motion that's seconded to approve nature zone, as our new pest control company. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed?
Is Fiona speaking? Fiona, did you want to go on as opposed? Because I know you said,
No, sorry, I had myself unmuted there, I was in with the kids. I'll go for it, I'm fine with that.
okay, thank you.
Alright, so we
Sure.
will go with nature zone, and then Dawn, we will get pricing for you on, adding bait boxes to your cluster.
Alright. Nature's Land. I'm actually gonna see Dee next week. I mean, I'll email tomorrow, but I'm gonna
Okay.
see. Do you remember how many she wanted?
I wanna say they said they needed a bait box every 12 weeks. And they probably are, I forgot how many are in each cluster, but there should be about at least 10 in each cluster.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just to go to 10 or 12,
Yeah.
something like that.
so,
You know, we talked, Laura.
yeah.
Okay. I'll get you some pricing.
Okay.
You wanna go back to the top, or you wanna keep going and go back to the top one more time?
Let's keep going. The general counsel thing, so consideration of new general counsel, we still need to have that opportunity to meet with them, don't we? Or do?
No, that's your committee.
Okay.
That's your committee, and I know a board member's on the committee, but I'm gonna say this to you. You've been getting a new general counsel for over a year now.
Yeah.
It's time for the committee to present their options and their recommendation to the board, or give it back to the board and you guys handle it. And stop waiting for them to recommend something for you, because it's been a year.
Yeah.
And so we have some opinions that we've received that board members
Yeah.
haven't agreed with, and we still have not got our documents that we,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to, and I did tell Laura that if you pick any of those other attorneys, I do have a separate collection attorney that does what your current attorney does. It's Mankin Law Group. They will collect all of your delinquents for you with no upfront charge to the association. And it's fine to have one attorney for general counsel and one attorney for that. So we can go with Mankin, and that way you're not giving anything up by leaving Anderson Gibbons. But if you're gonna leave Anderson Gibbons, literally, the committee's been gonna do it for a year, and to be honest, I don't know who's on the committee, I don't know if I'm insulting anybody, I'm sorry. But there's always someone out of town, somebody waiting to come back, forget it, let's just get the decision done.
Doesn't Thompson take care of the
Thompson
collection?
Najmi Thompson?
Yeah, don't they take care of the collection?
They can, but they charge you up front.
Oh, okay, we don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Mhm.
Okay,
There's very few that don't charge you up front. That's why you want, you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does the board have any, questions, discussion?
Well, I'd like to bring them in, bring Thompson in.
Well, we got to select them, so.
I don't know if they're gonna interview them.
Who?
We have not had an opportunity to interview him.
He was your attorney for years.
I know.
Yeah. What do you
But
mean
I
you haven't had an
wasn't
opportunity?
I was not on the board at the time.
Nancy, I'm not being smart, but you were one of the people that wanted to fire him. So I'm not sure, you do know who he is, you're not remembering, I think.
I remember who he is.
Yeah.
I remember why he was fired.
Yeah.
And I also understand what their explanation for that was.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I think this board needs to sit down and talk to him.
Well,
And we could do it sooner than later.
We were fired at the same time, I'm just saying.
I remember. All in one explosive night.
Yeah, it was.
any other board members have, basically what we've been looking at doing is going back to Nashmi Thompson, because they've got the experience with the board,
They know our documents.
and everything else. So, you know, if the board has any comments, questions, please weigh in. Charlie, do you have any?
Oh, so the committee is basically defunct and the board is taking over now to decide?
No, the committee is not defunct. There are two of us remaining on the committee. And, when I called to talk to them, they handed me over to a different attorney in their office to talk to.
Rick Weller.
And yes, his
Yep.
name was Rick Weller. And I spoke with him at length about a lot of the issues that we have. And, they were fine with what we needed. And they were very capable of rewriting our documents, which was a big thing that I wanted to talk to them about because they need to be done. That's about it.
So, the committee's making a recommendation or not?
The recommendation that I would be making, would be to take and do a final interview with the entire board.
We're never gonna be able to get everybody together for that.
Well, they can call it.
Here's the thing, I'm gonna say a couple things to you, about Najmi. First off, it's gonna sound like I'm trying to sell you on them, I'm not. I told the board a long time ago, I want you to make sure whatever attorney you pick understands how your documents are. One board, 6 clusters, because you got in some mix-up about that.
That's a big one.
And they do. Second, for Najmi Thompson, as far as Nancy saying Rick Weller, Stephen and Rick work together like this on every account. So even though Stephen Thompson was the face you saw, there's nothing that went on in your community that Rick isn't already aware of. And vice versa, as Rick works with you and he's your face, Stephen Thompson will also know. They work on these together. 99% of the time when you have an executive meeting with either of them, the other one is there also in the room. That way they can always cover for each other if any issue is going on. So anyway, just wanted to say that, not trying to sell you on them. Any of the attorneys that you interviewed, I don't know who all you spoke with, but just like any other contract, if you're not happy with them, then you move on to the next one. So it's up to you. You want the board to interview the attorney? Does the board want to interview the attorney, or will they take your recommendation? And who else are you considering, I guess I would ask?
The other company that we contacted actually would not speak to us.
Huh.
Well, you don't wanna go with them then.
We have that now. It's like no change. It's like, right.
Thank you, Fiona.
Yeah.
Sure, sorry.
That's kind of what we thought. And,
Yeah. I mean, I'll say honestly, at this point, we need to find an attorney that's gonna do the work that we need them to do. We're not getting anything back from Anderson. We made the decision to part ways with Anderson and start this search, and the search has brought us back to Najmi Thompson. So, in my opinion, I think we go ahead with selecting them and having the opportunity to speak with them about some of the concerns that we had with the existing law firm, about our documents, and we also pursue hiring Mencken to handle all of our collections going forward.
they, did reduce their hourly rate to $300
Okay.
from $350, which was what their standard rate is.
Oh,
$350.
nice.
they took it down to 300. I don't, that was the only discussion that we had regarding rate. They do have, paralegals and so on that will do some of it for a lower price.
Yeah.
And this is Najmi Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have that.
So we don't really have many, oh, sorry, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we don't have many choices at the moment, do we? There's not a lot of
No, there are,
firms that do what we need to have done.
Correct.
nope.
Okay, so should we just go with Najmi Thompson then?
We can.
That's basically where we're
Yeah.
sitting at right now. So if
Yeah.
there's a recommendation or a motion.
I don't have a problem with any of that because, I mean, they know what they're doing.
Okay, I'll
You
make
know
that
what?
motion.
Question, same thing, can we make the motion and if, after, 6 months or so, is it a contract again, or are we able to part ways if it ends up being not what we want it to be?
You're able to part ways anytime you want to. Attorneys are like management companies. You don't even have to get alternative bids. You find one you like, they understand your association, which with you guys is a big deal, then go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, the only other thing that I'm gonna say to you is that, I will, in the next couple weeks, after they reach out, and notify the current attorney that they're taking over, any open items, if it's gonna cost you a lot of money to transition them, I'll bring that up, we'll talk about it at the time.
Okay.
Because some things might just leave with them to finish up, so.
Okay. All right, so the motion is on the table.
That was my question. Yeah, that was my question, because we have spent so much money with the attorney to get these things done, and they hadn't completed them for us, that, yeah, we don't wanna spend a lot of money twice.
Have they actually been paid?
Some things they've been paid for.
Not for that document.
Okay.
No, I have not. I got that bill, but I'm not giving it to them.
All right, so is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so
I'll second.
those in favor of selecting Najmi Thompson as the new legal counsel, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passed for, selecting Thompson Najmi. I can't remember, I'm sorry, one day I actually will. I think, because I think about that actress.
It goes on, it's Najmi Thompson, whatever. Weller's in there now too. I just didn't get, I stopped after two.
Okay, so the next thing on the up for discussion is regarding fence replacement. So we know that the full-on fence replacement bids were anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000, I think. Kind of painful. And, so we also looked at repair, and so we had a quote originally, I think from, was it Quality?
I have so many in
Gave
here.
us a quote to repair, and then, I got talking with Mike and Roxy Platt. And they went down a rabbit hole of discovering that the materials are still available, and they found them over at USA Fence, and, they actually found a roofing contractor, is that what he is?
A fence.
Or fencing contractor,
Yep, fencing.
sorry, roof's on the brain, fencing contractor who can come out and actually do the repairs and put up the pieces, and then gave us the estimates of how many panels will need to be actually purchased again. One of the things that they included was, the reason why our fence keeps coming down is that the actual posts are not reinforced, and there's like a metal, and if I'm saying this wrong, please, Mike, interrupt me.
It's just called a metal I-beam.
Okay, so there's a metal I-beam that you could put into those posts, and that goes down into the ground to fortify it and protect it against these strong winds that keep taking them down. That quote was I think it was 20,000? 22,000.
That included the section behind the credit union.
Yes.
That the credit union would be paying for. I think that our portion would be like 16-ish.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Charlie has worked with the project manager at the new credit union that because they own that section of the fence, they have said that they will pay to have that portion of the fence put back. So and that section is from 59th down to basically the Burger King property line, right? So that's why that part of it, we're not gonna have to pay for. Mike has offered to oversee the process, the project itself, to get the fence repaired.
Is he appointed to that committee here? I'm just checking. Yeah, he's on.
He is on our construction committee, so he is safe, yeah. And one of the things that came up is along 63rd. So the recommendation, and we've heard this recommendation now from several different fencing people, and even several homeowners here, of instead of putting the plastic up over there, keep the existing metal fence and take those hedges that are already there and use them to fortify the fence and create a natural wall that's way prettier to look at than a wire chain link fence. Which requires, in this situation, some conversations with Jesus to get his team to stop destroying them.
Stop cutting it down.
And then we also have to find out, because I know Megan had put in some bushes over there, whether or not the irrigation system actually functions in that area at all. Because we'd like to see the same bushes that are filling in over by cluster 6 to be extended all the way down for that cluster 2 section and let them grow.
Podocarpus, they get
Yeah,
really
I can
tall.
tell you, they weren't working at all when I first had them plant those couple, because they died like quickly,
Yeah.
they were not being watered, so it wasn't working.
So we need to have Jesus come out and confirm that, make sure that it's working. So anything that we put in there, but you said, Roxy, it's podocarpus?
Podocarpus is what is by cluster 6.
And they're in abundance, they spread, there's also other plants on the property that could also grow like that as well, so we don't necessarily have to go out and buy a ton to fill that in and create a nice little, privacy section for that area. So, and honestly, I appreciate all of the legwork from Roxy and Mike. They spent a lot of time looking at options and actually meeting with fence people to look at alternatives. And the beauty of it really is that we know that the vinyl fence, it's not, for the long term, it's not the best thing for us, but by putting it back up, filling in where we need it, it's buying us time to save for a fence that is going to be more long wearing. But is there anything else you guys, from what you've researched?
Who's the, company that's gonna put it in? USA Fence has the materials.
His name is Fermain,
I
whatever
have
it is on the bid.
You have the bid, don't
Yeah,
you,
you have
Laura?
it. I think.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Just give me the name so I can put it in the motion.
I'm not sure, I guess I never,
Yeah,
Find it.
that's okay.
he does brickwork.
They sent me a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
he would have it.
I just need.
The other thing to look
You can
at
get it
this
to me
as
by
far as
tomorrow.
like, the bushes and whatnot is, I know we had that, I can't remember, those people come out a couple times and give, really great recommendations about what to plant and whatnot.
Yeah, the extension service came out and made recommendations.
You just wanna go with the same bush.
Yeah, I mean, the Coda campus is, I mean, it's actually quite nice looking over by cluster 6, and I think it will provide a really good.
So is that, did he give a quote for the plants or?
No, this is, the materials.
But he probably can.
Mike, do you know if he can include the cost of the plants?
Can he give us pricing on the plants?
Do you know?
Excuse me?
You mean if the fence guy can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he could work.
Wait, is it Mr. Perez Landscaping or is this a different one?
No, it's,
Is it, his name's Fermain? His first name is Fermain.
huh?
Yeah, I think you're giving me the
Oh,
wrong
hang
one.
on, she
Yeah,
sent
you
me a separate one. Roxy has loaded up my inbox.
Oh.
Roxy Dagnabbit, I've got a landscaper installing the fence, Roxy.
Oh, man.
Well, just so long as I get it in the motion
Yeah, do
correctly.
you have it that you can send it to me again, Roxy?
It's Mr. Perez Landscaping.
Oh, it is?
It is.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
So he can give us prices on the plants?
I would believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you're not a crack.
I just know when he looked over there, he said that podocarpus was a pain in the butt to remove.
And so it means that anybody trying to scale the fence is going to have trouble.
Leaving it grow is free
Yep.
to everybody here. Free. Doesn't cost anything to leave it grow. And it makes it beautiful.
I like that.
I like that idea, right?
Are we doing anything about
I mean, if
the
it doesn't work
walkway?
in
I
6
know we
months.
had talked a while ago about the dumpster and whatnot in that walkway.
Yeah, wasn't there a recommendation for the, like, to close in the opening?
Yeah, Nancy,
Yes.
I think that's
And,
Yeah.
but when you talked to him, right, Mike,
Slightly.
there was a consideration of closing that in and allowing
Yep.
everything to kind of grow and not have that gap
Yep,
to allow any entry.
yep.
Do your owners go in and out of there a lot? Is that gonna be a problem?
There is a
Yes, they
gate,
do. There is a gate down towards Sixth,
there is a gate, so if
so
possible.
they can walk through that.
Yeah, so we've got that, but I think this is a really reasonable way to move forward. And we've got a, you know, Mike willing to be out there every day, making sure it's, and I'm sure Roxy will be there too.
Cracking the whip.
Just knowing Roxy, but I think this is a really good solution for us, and it buys us some time, but still makes it presentable.
And USA Fence probably has a little scrap piece of chain link, because you can never get rid of it.
Right.
So they can, to put in that gap. They
Hold
probably
it up
have-
for now,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I just mean in general, before you plant the plants, so that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
closed from the outside,
Yes.
just for good.
So what kind of motion do you need?
Yeah.
You want-
Can I ask, this is Chad, can I ask one question on the fence, or am I not allowed yet?
Has the board?
So-
Board.
Yeah.
Are they,